Okay, so if you want to use your calculators, you can enter these matrices the exact same way I have you enter them online. So if we wanted to represent this entire matrix arrangement, what we do is the square bracket, second comma, and then we type from our rows across the rows, 5 and 0. Anytime we want to jump down to the next column, once again we hit second function and then the 9 to put a semicolon, -2, 1, semicolon, and then 4, -3. I'm done with this, so I can close off my bracket. And now, if I wanted to, right here I could just type the next thing and put plus, and then enter this whole matrix as well. And if you know you're going to use matrices or a set of one of the arrangements multiple times, you might want to store it as a variable so that you don't have to rewrite it or reuse it every time. So I want to show you, again, it's just one more thing to use your calculators for. But you see this little STO button at the bottom left, right above the power? If you hit that button, what you can do is you can take whatever you enter and you can assign that to a variable. So I'm going to call this A, just to be consistent. So if I use alpha key and type A and hit enter, now anytime I use the letter A stands for this entire matrix. And so I'm going to do this same thing with B. I'm going to enter this set for B. So second. I'll have to restart here. Hang on just a second. All right, so if I enter my set for A, okay, and then store it as my letter A. Okay, and then do the same thing for B's. So if I take my set B, which is 4, -6, semicolon, 2, -2, semicolon, and then -1, 3, close off the brackets. And I want this to be assigned as my B value. So I can enter B for that, hit enter. Now, anytime I want to manipulate these, I can now use the letters A and B instead of retyping this matrix every time. So if I want to find A plus B, okay, I can type A plus B, and when I hit enter, it gives me my matrix solution. So the solution is 9, -6, 0, -1, 3, and 0. Now, is that consistent? Is that what you would expect? Right. The arrow is this store key, this STO button right above the on switch. And then you just assign it a letter. Okay, now if I wanted to take A minus B, all I have to do is change that to a minus, and I get my solution 1, 6, -4, 3, 5, -6. And then if I want my B minus A, once again, just type it in, B minus A, hit enter, and it confirms -1, -6, just the opposites of each of these. 4, -3, -5, and +6. Okay, so as far as gauging whether or not it's worth your time to do this, if you see that a single matrix is going to be used multiple times, it might be in your best interest to put it into and store it as a letter so that it's easier to manipulate. If you're just doing one single calculation with it, then it's unnecessary. You can just leave it in that matrix form. All right, questions about using your calculator to identify a matrix, Olivia?
So if we wanted to assign something else to A and B, would we be able to? Or
Later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would just restore it over the top of A. But what that means is now, anytime, like if you had this entered as something, and then you tried to solve an equation, 2A plus whatever, it would think that A is whatever this entire matrix is. So the way to get rid of that is, if you're done using those, or if it's getting clogged up, if you just go to clear A to Z or select new problem, it'll delete the values for A and B. So if I hit clear A to Z right now, and it asks me to confirm it, now if I take B minus A, it just represents B minus A. It no longer is stored in the memory for those. All right, there's